They weren't cheering love, they were chanting a ghost. Selena's name echoed louder than the moment itself. Behind the fake smile, a tear slipped through. She didn't deserve the noise, only peace. Please shut up. Show some respect. Voices from the crowd defending Hailey. There are moments in life when silence speaks louder than words. In the midst of flashing cameras, screaming fans, and constant judgment, imagine standing there, trying to keep your dignity intact. This isn't just a celebrity moment. This is human emotion, raw and real. Hailey didn't ask for the spotlight in that moment, but the world chose to shine it right on her pain. Behind the glam, behind the makeup, behind the fame, there's a woman fighting to hold herself together. This video isn't about taking sides. It's about understanding what public pressure really looks like when a person is at the center of noise, mockery, and comparison. This is that story. And it deserves to be told with truth, empathy, and honesty. It was meant to be a perfect day, the kind of day every bride dreams of. A celebration of love, unity, and a new beginning. Justin and Hailey stood together, ready to mark their forever. But in the middle of the cheers and flashing cameras, something felt off. It started low, almost like a whisper. Then it grew louder, heavier, a chant echoing through the crowd. Selena, Selena, again and again. It wasn't just a name, it was a wound reopened. At a moment where love should have been louder than anything else, people chose to shout the past. Not to support, but to hurt. Hailey, standing there in her bridal gown, felt the weight of those words. Her smile faded for a second. Her eyes, filled with emotion, blinked back the pain she didn't deserve. You could feel it. This wasn't just gossip or drama. This was bullying. Cruelty dressed as fan love. A moment that should have belonged to her was being stolen right in front of everyone. The cameras didn't miss it. Neither did those around her. And when the tears started welling up in her eyes, some women nearby couldn't hold back either. One of them shouted back, "Please, shut up," because they saw what was happening, and it wasn't okay. This wasn't about whose team you're on. This was about basic humanity. A woman was getting torn down on her wedding day, and all for what? For a name that didn't belong in that moment. Love is never louder when it's built on hate. And respect? It's free, but not everyone chooses to give it. After that heartbreaking moment at the wedding, Hailey tried her best to stay strong. But deep down, you could feel the pain in her eyes, a kind of sadness that silence couldn't hide. She wasn't just facing judgment, she was surrounded by people who couldn't let go of the past. Imagine standing at the center of a celebration meant to honor love and commitment, and suddenly, the name of someone from your partner's past is screamed in your face. That's not just disrespectful, that's cruel. But Hailey didn't react. She didn't shout. She didn't walk away. She stood there, holding herself with quiet strength. That takes courage. A few kind voices in the crowd spoke up. You could hear them. Please stop. Enough. Because even they knew this had crossed a line. This wasn't a drama. This was real life. And Hailey isn't someone's shadow. She's not just someone's wife. She's a woman. A human being. And no human deserves to be embarrassed and humiliated like that, especially on their wedding day. This is bigger than a celebrity feud. This is about how we treat people. Whether you support Selena or Hailey, this isn't about sides. This is about basic human decency. Kindness should never be optional. The world is already harsh enough. We don't need more hate. We need more understanding. Because behind every public moment, behind every viral video, there's a person who feels, a heart that breaks, and a soul that still tries to heal. After the wedding video went viral, a wave of emotions followed, but not the kind you'd expect. This wasn't just a moment of celebration. It became a target for hate. People started chanting Selena, Selena in front of Hailey, drowning out what was supposed to be one of the most beautiful moments of her life. Can you imagine that? Being in love, being married, and hearing your partner's ex's name shouted at you in public and with cameras rolling? This isn't just drama. This is pain. This is humiliation. And most of all, this is cyberbullying in real life. It's easy to forget that celebrities are human too. Just because they wear designer clothes or have millions of followers doesn't mean they're emotionless. They bleed like us. They cry like us. And Hailey? She held her head high through all of it. She didn't scream. She didn't react with hate. She chose grace, silence in a moment where most people would break down. That takes strength. And that silence spoke louder than any response. It was a reminder. You don't need to respond to cruelty with cruelty. Let's think about this. Is this what we've become as a society? People waiting to bring someone down just because it's trending? This isn't about Selena versus Hailey. It's about respect. It's about understanding that every woman deserves her moment, without being compared, without being disrespected. Let's choose empathy over entertainment. Because behind every viral clip is a heart that hurts, a soul that's healing, and a woman who deserves peace, not pain. Let's take a step back and look at Hailey, not the headlines, not the hate, but the human being. She didn't grow up chasing this drama. She never asked to be compared. All she wanted was to love and be loved in return. But the internet turned her life into a battlefield. Every outfit, every post, every smile, judged, analyzed, and twisted. Still, she stood tall. Even when the world mocked her, when people called her names, when trolls flooded her DMs, she never clapped back. Because Hailey isn't just fighting for herself. She's fighting a much bigger war. The war every woman faces when she's told she's not enough. And here's the truth. She is enough. Not because of her last name. Not because of who she married, but because she chooses peace when others offer pain. Because she shows dignity when others show disrespect. This isn't about taking sides. It's about understanding that love isn't a competition. There's no prize for whose name trends more. Hailey didn't steal anyone. You don't steal people, they make choices. And Justin chose her. Period. So instead of tearing her down, maybe we should ask ourselves, why are we so quick to hate someone we don't even know? Why is kindness so hard when cruelty is so easy? Hailey's journey is not perfect, but it's real. And that makes it powerful. She didn't post revenge stories. She didn't play victim. She chose silence. She chose class. And most importantly, she chose growth. So maybe it's time we grow too. So here we are, at the end of a story the internet tried to control. But this isn't the story of a love triangle. It's not about Selena versus Hailey. It's not about who's better, more popular, or more deserving. This is about how easily we let the internet turn people into targets. We forget they're humans. With hearts. With families. With pain. We forget that behind every viral comment is a person just trying to survive. Hailey didn't sign up to be your villain. Selena didn't ask to be your savior. And Justin? He made a choice. And he's living that choice, in peace, with the woman he loves. But some of you still want drama. You want to hold on to hate because it makes you feel part of something. But here's the truth. Real strength is letting go. Real power is healing. Hailey didn't need to prove her worth. She just needed to live her truth. And she's doing that with grace, with calm, with strength most of us wouldn't have. So next time you feel like commenting something cruel, ask yourself, what are you really fighting for? Because when women tear other women down, nobody wins. This isn't about sides anymore. It's about learning to be better, to choose compassion over conflict, to understand before judging, and to finally say, enough is enough. Let them live. Let them love. And maybe let's start healing too. In a world quick to judge, be the one who chooses to understand.